Hello, everybody. I am aware that we're all kind of stuck in a lockdown at the moment, unfortunately, because it's January 2021. And I think a lot of us are suffering because I know a lot of you are working at office jobs, and that means you're stuck sitting at a table all day. That's not designed for doing your office work. Like maybe you're working from your dining table or your kitchen table, and it's creating quite a bit of tension in the neck and shoulders. And the reason why this popped into my head is I took a walk around my apartment complex the other day, and I could see through the window like a really lovely girl that lives in the building, sitting at her dining table, and her upper back was really strained and rounded forward, and then her head, was kind of looking at this laptop. And so all I could see was if she's stuck like that for hours, and I think a lot of you might be, is that the upper back is getting very strained, and then the back neck is getting really tight, and you wouldn't notice, but you get stuff like that for hours. I know, because I used to do office work myself, and like 2 hours or 4 hours sometimes go by and you haven't actually got off the chair because you're doing something really time consuming. And it is really important that you take those breaks and you move around, but also just trying to be careful of how you do sit at your desk. Ideally, I'm just going to use a little pillow to show us, we really want to sit with a nice upright spine. So you might want to take a pillow now for a moment, lift your bum muscle out from under you, and try to lift that spine up. And really, when I sit up tall, it should look like I'm sitting up against an imaginary wall. So you are actually trying to, lengthen the spine up, reach up through the crown of the head. And in an ideal world, that is the way I would sit as I do my office work, but I know that isn't always possible. So even just correcting your posture throughout the day, taking your breaks, having a walk around is really important. Like make an excuse to go and get a cup of tea or a glass of water, or go for a pee break, or just walk out onto your balcony or something. But it's very important that you're not stuck in these rigid positions all day, because I think you're going to get up at the end of the day and be very sore. So because of that, I'm going to do a little technique that I always use if I get a bit of neck strain accidentally. If you have a soft ball at home, this is a special Yanana ball. They're quite expensive. I might be able to send the link for that if I work out how to do that technology-wise. But if you have any, even a tennis ball would do. It's a little bit too small maybe and hard, but any kind of soft physio balls for massage. These are my favourite way to do this. So I'm going to stand, and hopefully I've set the camera up correctly. Yeah. So often where we feel the most tension is across the top of the back of our shoulders here, as your trapezius muscles, up into the neck muscles. So that's where I start. I put the ball in between the back of my shoulder and the wall. Yeah. Right, and the feet can be kind of shoulder distance apart or wider. Knees are not locked. And then I'm just going to roll that ball along the back of my shoulder. And I just move around. I'm kind of moving up and down to try to get it into wherever I might have knots. Now, luckily today I don't feel very many knots. Sometimes I do. And sometimes I do an exercise, a Pilates movement, not very well because I might be demoing it for clients, and I have often strained my neck accidentally. So I often have to use this little trick. So I roll it around, and then if you do find a knot, you stay on the knot for a couple of seconds. You can lean onto it gently, and then you can kind of roll from side to side. And really focus on that knot. You're trying to give yourself kind of a massage. Then I would stay on the knot, and I start working my arm. So I'm going to float my arm up and down, because the muscles that run up your arm travel through your shoulder, up into your neck, up into your spine. So when I'm leaning on that sore knot and floating my arm up and down, I'm actually giving myself a kind of a trigger point massage. I'm really trying to ease out the tension in that knotted area. And then I might hold my arm so there, it's not too high, not too low, and then I'm going to rotate it. Like same reason. It's just going to move all the muscles and the tissue and the fascia around in the area, under the ball, a little bit of extra tension there. Yeah, and I sometimes hold the arm steady and I might bend and straighten the elbow. And they're all just movements. I can even flex my wrist, so I can bend my elbow and then bend my wrist, so I really stretch everything out. Because sometimes if you have a trapped nerve in your neck and shoulder, you might have tingliness in the arm all the way down into your fingers, because this is all connected. And again, if you do have kind of tingling numbness in the hands and the arms, often it's coming from the neck and shoulder. Then you could relax your arm down by your side, and you can turn your head from side to side, because then you're kind of pulling on those muscles and tissues at a different angle. So you might notice you might have a lack of range of movement. Like thankfully today I don't have any strain, so my head moves pretty freely, but sometimes I might do. Right? So what you do is you kind of keep moving it around wherever you feel knots. You keep repeating the sequence I've just shown you. And the other place that you can put the ball is in between your shoulder blades and your spine. So there's a little channel here in between the shoulder blade and the spine, same on the other side. So I'm going to put it into one of those channels, and then I kind of squat and roll up and down. Right, and again today, feels fine. I'm obviously not holding any tension there, but there's other days when I put this in here and think, oh my god, that's really sore. Right, I might just try the other side, just out of interest. Yeah, there's a little bit more tension on that side for me, so I should be working on that side today. Good. Now I look really crooked because of my camera. My nice new webcam, which is making my tiny little room that I'm working in today look more spacious, but it's making me look a little bit crooked. Yeah. And then you can try the other top of that shoulder. I mean, like, I see you have loads of time. You spend lots of time on this. When I get up and I have a strain, sometimes I have to do 10 or 15 minutes of this once or twice in the day. Like in the morning when I have time before I go to work, and then maybe when I get home again in the evening, and it really helps to get rid of that neck and shoulder strain. So if you find a little knot, and you can lean onto it at a funny angle. If I find that the knot is somewhere here, like somewhere kind of here in the corner between your neck and your shoulder, I do all sorts of weird things, like I turn around to the wall and I lean onto that knot, and I do actually have a knot in there somewhere, so I kind of roll up and down. It's very peculiar, but kind of pleasantly unpleasant. And then again, I find a knot, I start that process off again, I kind of float my arm up and down. So even on a day when I think I don't have any tension in my shoulders, and I'm not trapped at an office desk, I still have some knots in my shoulders. So no wonder if you get pain in your neck and shoulders when you are stuck doing those things. Yeah, and then I turn my arm down in and out, and then I bend and straighten it. Yeah, and you kind of feel that nice pulling sensation, that peculiarly pleasant pulling sensation up and down, all the way from the fingers, all the way up through the arm, into the shoulder. And at least it makes you realise how something up here in your shoulder can be connected to something down there in your finger, because you can feel sensation all the way up and down the arm, just doing these movements. And again, if I found a knot there, I might work on it for a few seconds more, and I might even put a turn my head from side to side, or maybe even up and down. Whatever feels right, with gentle movements. So that's it, going across the back of the shoulders where your trapezius muscles are, pausing on little knots when you find them, turning your head from side to side, working the arm, and go spend as much or as little time on that as you need, but it will really help to release some of that tension from all of that bad sitting that we're stuck doing in our homes at the moment. Yeah, that's it. I hope you find that useful, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye.